Right, so we jumped back on, we gave Nicola a quick phone call there because she was just about to express to anyone that could one day or is about to go on a journey like this. Nicola wanted to give some advice on, I let you take from there, Nicola, because it did cut out when you were speaking, love. So what were you about to say to the women that may or may be around someone that might even be about to experience this journey?
It was just that, like, it won't all be sunshine and lollipops. It's not going to be all doom and gloom either. Like, the better mindset you have, the more determined you are to enjoy your day, get up out of bed, face what's in front of you. It will be easier. And I honestly believe that if you think negatively, you're going to impact your day with negativity. I mean, I remember waking up some mornings and thinking to myself, I knew how I felt. I knew I either felt like crap or I felt great, but the person in the bed didn't know how I felt. Neither did the 3 kids. So they probably felt a bit on edge. So you have to take that in as well. Like, it's not all just about you. There's a whole load of other people affected by this. So
that's just really brave. That's very selfless, which is lovely to hear. To be in that situation and be able to say it's not just about me. And I totally, I hope I never have to experience anything like this. But if I ever am on a journey like that, I hope it's a mindset, because I am all about.
I was just going to say that everything that we bring to Sister Sheds and everything that we try to get across to all the women, it's like mindset is key. Mindset is everything. So for you to even say, I'm probably one of the hardest journeys you've ever gone through in your life, it was about getting up here in tune with helping you come through that and have a positive outlook on it. So it just goes to show in every situation in life, mindset is key. So I think that's amazing. I honestly don't know on a personal level for myself in that situation. I can't say what way I would be. I would like to think I would be trying to get mind over matter. And they say, like, I know an awful lot of women that have had different cancers, breast cancer, whatever cancer it might be. And they say that half the battle of the cancer is your head. You know, don't let your head consume you. Don't go under with it, you know, have a positive outlook. So I think that's a brilliant message to put out there to anybody that might be on this journey or have a family member or a friend or whatever it might be, that they could even relay that little bit of information back. Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
You could have a pretty just a normal shit day and it's hard to change your mindset. It's kind of something that you grow with, you start to learn how to do. So to just be hit with that very quickly and not be used to changing your mindset in negative situations, that's going to be hard. But it's great to hear that that's something that you took on, Nicola.
Yeah, and you know, some of it could have been, at that time I would have been a people pleaser. So it wasn't that I was like, oh, this is going to be how I'll do it. Some of it could have been, but I genuinely, wholeheartedly can say, I remember just thinking, like, just get on with it. Just get on. I still walked. I went to work most of the day. If I wasn't in hospital or if I was having a good week, I'd go to work.
That must have been what kept you going, Nicola, having that routine and just trying to keep on top of things. And
yeah, like, I still had to clean the house. I still had to cook. My husband was great. He done so much that was never asked of him. And I remember thinking to myself, Jesus, like, we're only a couple of years into our marriage, like, and he's having
to be hit with this.
Can I ask? I suppose this is a really kind of deep question. Was there any time that you did think? Did the doctor say to you, look, you're going to make it, you're going to be okay?
So I remember when we were first diagnosed and the tumour had grown, he had said to me, it's vital you get up and get out and get fresh air into your lungs every day, because he says, you can lay down and die. He said, if you don't have a healthy mind and a healthy body, he said, it's very detrimental for you. Wow. And I was like, right. I remember having chemo on the Friday, the very first session of chemo I had on the Friday, and we went to Fantasia the next day. And you know the bucket in Fantasia? where all the water falls
Water
out.
comes down. Yeah.
I was standing underneath it, didn't realise I was underneath it, and I was feeling absolutely miserable. And bear in mind, I'm only after getting the hair dyed blue, purple and pink, and the bucket was down on top of me, and the hair starts running down my face. I'm like, oh my God, the kids are in knots laughing. Like, there's loads of us, Alan's sisters, their kids, there's a good few, there must have been about 20 of us, they were all finding it hilarious. And I remember I wanted to cry, and I was actually like, just, no, this is so funny. And you know the shoe caps for your trainers?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just put one of them on my head because I'd no swimming cap. So I walked around the rest of the day with that. But the kids had a ball. I had a ball. Do you know what I mean? It really is. I could have sat there and cried and went, I'm getting out of the water. I'm not staying.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I stayed, and I got to have a memory with the kids.
That's brilliant.
So you were kind of in the mindset as well of making memories with the kids, making memories for the kids.
If that's what I came to, I created a memory box for each of them.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
wrote
Sorry, go ahead, Nick. I'm a talker. I'm always talking. I think
she's a wagon.
I think the biggest part of being a mother, for me anyway, and I never used to get it from my mum, because my mum used to say to me, I'm not afraid of leaving this world. Of course she wasn't. She was a medium, like, you know, she thought she knew where she was going. But she used to say, it's leaving you. That's my biggest fear. But I didn't have children then. And I used to think, how can someone not be scared of dying? I'm not bleeding dying. I'm not going anywhere. You know, like, when, you know, like that my thing was, how can, that's not true. Like, if you're ever told you're going to die, you're going to think of yourself. But when I had children, the biggest fear I ever have is of leaving my children alone.
Yeah.
That's a massive, I know they're not alone. I know they have a family that's going to take them and love them unconditionally. But it's a massive fear. So that's amazing. I think maybe as a mother, maybe, just maybe for me as well, your mindset does kick into, oh, let's make memories. Let's have these memories, like, because it is about them. So it's just incredible.
And I have good friends, and I had great friends at the time that aren't as much in my life now, but they were very good to me at that time. And I will forever be grateful to them. Like, I remember one of Colin's friends, Layla, her mum, Amy, she used to take the kids nearly every Saturday night after I'd have chemo. So, because she knew how bad I'd be. And I remember she came in to see me in the hospital, and I said to her, Amy, if it gets to the stage where I don't make it, will you make sure that Colin always has the nice scaly things? Because Alan didn't know about boys. He'd know what to do. I was thinking to myself, God, like, she doesn't have a sister. Like,
try and make it normal, a little bit normal.
Yeah. And Amy was like, don't have this conversation. She was like, you're going to be fine. But if it does come to it, I'll always make sure she'll have the gaily things. She'll know what the gaily stuff is. And like, they have aunties and they have cousins. But I felt comfortable enough to say that to Amy because she seen me on my bad days. She seen sometimes I wasn't always like, I'm going to be okay. Do you know that way?
And can I ask as well, just when moving a step forward then, when you are kind of, let's say, given the all clear, is there fears now that you live through? What's the mindset now? Like, what if it comes back, or is it a possibility? Do they tell you, like, what happens after?
If it was to come back,
not what, like, is it?
You go like for routine checkups now? Like, is it a possibility? Like, what is your mindset? Do you ever think to yourself, this could come back? Is there a possibility it could come back? Is it?
I am more aware.
Yeah.
I do. I check my breasts. I would keep on top of my appointments.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of what you put out, you get back.
Absolutely.
So I try not to think of things like that. I actually came away from social media for that very reason, because I was looking at people's lives and everyone seemed so perfect, and at times I was thinking mine is crumbling. So
God, yeah.
I was torturing myself in some ways. So I was like looking at people and I was like, oh, I want that. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm happy with my life, but I'm looking at something that's not real for me. It might be real for them
Absolutely.
at that
Yeah.
time, but it's not
And beating
real for
yourself
me.
up over it. And yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And you know what? It's not the same, but I think even when I lost my mum, I can identify with that because I didn't delete my social media, but I did. If I'd see someone going out with their mum, or, you know, Mother's Day, oh Jesus,
Yeah.
still till this day. And that is reality for a lot of women with their mothers, you know, it is real. And I'm cracked up inside, and I still am. So I'm not going to lie, like 7 years on, I look and I think, oh, I can't look at Facebook on Mother's Day. I can't look at any social media because the pain. So I can only imagine, and that pain is there all the time, but it's them kind of, that kind of social media that amplifies things sometimes. And I suppose in your situation, Nicola, when you're going through that really depth of life and death, and look and thinking, I just want to be okay, like, and I'm looking at everything.
And I think people as well, with the likes of social media, everyone falls down the rabbit hole of social media. Before you know it, you've lost an hour or 2 hours sitting there scrolling, you know. And then sometimes, just to be totally honest as well, like I know when I had my little boy and I was postnatally depressed and stuff, but yeah, I was like, I have to keep up with the Joneses. I have to post like, oh, he's so good, he's this, he's that. And really I was walking the floors that night saying, oh my God, I can't cope with this. So I think it adds pressure as well, that we want this perfect kind of, but it's, in hindsight, it's not. Like, nothing is perfect, nobody's perfect, but I totally get that, you know. But I just think to be able to even identify and say, I took myself off that, you know, like I think it's just amazing. I think your mindset, and to go through that journey with that positive mindset. But like you say, you had bad days, but to be able to be focused and say, right, well, you know what, social media is not doing it for me, I'm going to come off it.
To be able to go to Funtasia, love.
I'm telling you, and let your mohawk streak down your face, and yeah. Not a bother to you.
Definitely showing
I won't even get my hair wet in a water park because I don't want to blow dry it.
I'm in Chilean for the first day, and I'm like, I'm not getting in that pill. I'm
we need to get a curly blow dry.
yeah.
But you know, I'm still making changes to my life for the better, because my hair grew so long after it grew back, and it was down past my bum up until May. And I remember, like, everyone used to always comment, oh, your hair, the length of it grew back so long, blah, blah, blah. And I actually started to feel like, is people only, like, commented on my hair because, do you know, it's not, my hair was starting to define me, I felt.
Yeah.
So I put it all off. It's up to me. I put it to my shoulder. The morning
You're just one of these, what you call them, like a rebel. You just want to go all the odds. You're just like, no, don't want it, off you come.
Fair play.
No, but honest to God, my brother was getting married that morning. The girl, my friends came to do me hair, Lorraine, and she said to me, what do you want to do? I said, just cut it off. I just want a fresh start. And like the sense of relief I even got from that, do you know what I mean? So there's always going to be days where I'm striving to be better. I'm striving to move forward in my life. Yeah. And if cutting me hair is a way to do it at that time,
go for it.
Yeah. You know, well, it definitely sounds like to me, like it sounds like just continuously. It's a continuing change of life, and that is the way life is in general.
Absolutely.
So, but you're somebody, because you've had that experience, and a lot of people have had different experiences in lives that have made them be present. And I'm someone that likes to be present. I'm someone that used to live in the past. I'm like, oh, that was shit. Like, that could be better than that. But I can't unlive me bullshit, do you know? So I can't unlive negative stuff that happened to me in my life. So I suppose all I can do now is have gratitude for the life I have right now, and try to keep moving forward. And that exactly sounds like when you live in the moment, Nicola. It sounds like you actually live in the present, like.
I'm definitely a better person for having cancer. Definitely a better person. As I said, there was times, the hardest part for me was having no more children. That's the bit that got to me. And though I will never, never be jealous of somebody being pregnant or having a new baby, but I can be envious. I wouldn't begrudge them that happiness, because I know what it's like. I've had it 3 times. But there is times where I have tears. I cry. I could cry for an hour. I could cry for an hour.
Yeah, that's not mad. I don't mean that's mad. It's mad that the breast cancer didn't have you on the floor. But
The effect of,
it did.
Yeah. But as I said, I'll never begrudge anyone that type of happiness. I'll never be jealous of them, but I will be envious. And I know sometimes I have to go, no, do you know what? You're grand. And then there's other days I'm like, oh my God, 3 kids.
Get them out.
Really weird now. Like they're 19, they're 17 and 13. And now it's like my husband and I are like teenagers again. It's like we're dating all the time. We're out.
Go on then, Nicola, now.
Very good. No, keep it clean.
I'll lend you me backdrop.
Yeah. Two miracles for Rachel over here. Well, listen,
like we're young and fresh again, like we're finding our way again. It's like we've had a new lease. So
I love to hear that.
there is good days ahead for everyone. You just have to want them. You have to take them when you're getting them and accept the bad that come with it.
I was just going to say, Nicola, because we are aware of the time and we're absolute wagons. Like we've talked all night. I'd love to talk all night.
I'm so comfortable. I'm eating like brownies and I'm meant to be doing like some sort of Zoom podcast.
That's just sister sheds for you. But listen, what message would you give to anybody that this reaches, that might be starting that journey halfway through it, at the end of it, that mightn't see a little bit of light? What message would you give to somebody?
Did you go to any groups or anything after that? Is there anything out there that kind of gives you that mindset, or did you just say, no, this is the way I'm doing this?
No, I just was like that. I met lovely girls along on the journey. Teresa Costello, a girl I met when I was in having treatment, she done breast friends. And we'd have a couple of nights out, and our stories were very similar. She had a young child. I met a girl, Fiona. Again, she had a young child, but she was on her own. So her story was completely different to mine, but we could relate certain parts of our stories. Look, there's support for everyone. You just have to be prepared to accept it, because it can be very hard. I was like, oh, I don't need counselling. I'll be fine. A couple of years the line, 6 years down the line, I needed counselling. I hadn't took on board everything that had happened. I had lived through, but I didn't accept it. And sometimes you have to learn to accept it to move forward past certain aspects of your life. So
what do we say, Shireen? You have to feel to heal. Yeah.
No, you definitely have to feel to heal. And that's another even I don't want to go into the whole program stuff, but that's even another program I want to do, and that was acceptance, because I know very different experiences, very different journeys, but I didn't start to move forward in my life till I actually accepted my mum was gone and my dad, and that took 2 years to actually accept. And you know it's happening, you know it's done, you know it's there, but you might think you're accepting it, but you don't accept it until when you accept it, you'll know you've accepted it, you know?
Yeah. And if you are starting out, don't write yourself off. Do you know what I mean? Or like as I said, I had great friends. I remember a friend saying to me, they avoided me because they didn't know what to say. Don't be that friend. They didn't do it maliciously, but don't be that friend. If somebody you know is going through it, just even pop them a text. Do you know, look, if you need that, I'm around, or if you want to chat, or knock at the door. That's even better than a text. Knock at the door. You might cry, they might cry, or they might say, do you know what, it's not the right time, but they will appreciate it. And Absolutely. If you are that person that's starting out, know that people mean well. There will be people that don't, we know that, but the majority of people will mean well when they ask you, do you need a hand, do you want anything done? And sometimes you have to be a bigger person and say, yeah, I do need a hand. It's not that you're failing at anything, but you're going through.
Well,
Nicola, I think you're an absolute powerhouse. I'm privileged to have this conversation with you tonight, as is Shireen. And I hope that anybody listening to this just gets a little bit of hope out of it. I feel like I can go out there and take on the world. I'm like, that girl, she went through all that and she's sitting there like a ray of sunshine. There's nothing I can't take on. So
Yeah,
it's
you
been
look
an
so
absolute
cozy and
pleasure.
relaxed,
I
and
know.
you're just, like, telling your story. And I
Yeah,
love it.
not
That's
a
what we
bother to
do,
you.
Sister Shed, just tell your story.
Absolutely, absolutely. So well done, Nicola, darling.
Thanks so
Thanks
much.
so much, Nicola.
Graham.
Thanks. Really, really appreciate you coming out and bearing yourself.
And ladies, I hope you are very proud of yourselves for what you are doing for women and men around the country, because if you are having a positive impact on women, you can be assured that it's going into their family lives as well. So take credit from that as well.
Oh, gotta get emotional now.
Don't you start.
I won't start. Nicola, thank you
Thanks
so much, darling. And give her a round of applause. Thanks a million.
I'll talk to you soon, sweetheart. Take care.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
Bye.